Hello and welcome. My name is Alice Wilcox, your soul architect and energetic alignment mentor, and I'm the host of the Revolutionary Femme Podcast. This is a podcast where we explore what true revolutionary change means, what it means for you, and what it means for your life. Where playing small and dimming your light are not the energy. It's not the vibe at all. It's where alignment and energetic embodiment come together through human design and somatics in new and really powerful ways. It's knowing that your soul codes are written through ancient wisdom and modern science. It's where we lean in and trust that we know the truth of who we are, and the remembrance of our soul. Because this is not about becoming someone else. This work on the planet is not about becoming someone else. It's about unbecoming everything that we're not. So allow your multifaceted human to reclaim your ruthless authenticity and be empowered to rise. Let's dive in. Well, Kim, it's so great to have you on the podcast. You are actually the first person that I am bringing on the podcast, and I'm so excited about that.
What an honor. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, I wanted to have you on this podcast because the moves you've made over the last 2 years in your life have been so inspiring and so incredible. Really, really inspiring.
Yeah.
Really.
I'm excited. I'm excited every day.
Yep. You did what most people won't do, and that's move. Like get
Right.
up and move. Like
Literally. Yep.
right, literally also.
Yes.
You really put yourself into action every day. Like for the last 2 years of working together,
Mhm.
I saw you evolve into a completely different person. And
Yeah.
every time we met, you were talking about something new, you were learning something new, you were just in the work. You
Yeah.
started really living this experiment of your life on a daily
Yes.
basis out into the world. You actually did it, like even when it was hard. I know because
Yes.
I was there. Like things I know felt uncomfortable and they felt unfamiliar and they felt like the unknown, but you did it anyway. So
Right.
tell me a little bit about that. Like what shifted for you in your life from the work that we did together?
hmm
Didn't expect.
Um, well, I didn't expect it to work,
Hmm.
really,
Tell me about that a little.
because you know what? A couple years ago, I was just in a bad spot. Like I was just getting up, doing a routine,
Mhm.
going to a job that I liked. Um, but just the same old, same old. And I was in a rut with myself. And I would go to work every day and I couldn't see my coworker who is she's one of my spiritual guides, Miss Mary Lee, who you know. I
Yes.
love her.
Yes.
Um, and I would, every day be talking to her about, oh God, so this happened, and I'm doing this because I couldn't say no, and like
Oh.
it was every day. And finally, this little voice, I couldn't see her. She just said, "You need Reiki." And I sitting at my desk and I stopped and I'm looking at the, cubicle wall and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "You need Reiki. I have a lady. Her name's Alice. I'll give you her number." And I'm like, "All right, whatever." She goes, "No, you seriously need to talk to her." And it's explained to me that you are someone that could possibly just break something in me to get to a better spot. I talk extensively that I was not into therapy. I wasn't into going to doctors. I didn't want pills to make me happy or, motivated. I didn't want any of that. I just needed something to break through. So I reached out to you and I met you. And the first time I met you, I think we had it set up. We did 2-hour appointments. The
Right.
first hour was talking, and the second hour you actually did Reiki. And I would, it would get to the point where I'd be driving to you. We did this for a couple years.
Yeah. Long
And I'd
time.
get in my car and it was a 40-minute drive, and I'm driving thinking, I got nothing to talk about with Alice today. Everything seems okay. Like, what am I going to talk to her about? I'd get to you, say hello. 5 minutes later, I'm usually hysterically crying about something that is going on.
Oh
I
my.
don't know what it was about you. And then I would drive home, and it was a completely different drive. I was refreshed. It was day one of my new life. And I did that every month. And I left your place um, completely not burdened by everything that I brought to you. It's like I handed it to you. You did something, and I drove home and I was okay. And I could focus on like the next thing.
Right. Right. And
Um,
you did. That's the important thing. I
yeah.
didn't do it. You did it. And that's what I really would like for people listening to this episode to understand. If
Hmm.
anybody that any kind of healing modality you're working with, whether it's a person or crystals or whatever it is, tarot cards, whatever it is, that your yoga, it's not the tool. It's you. It's you.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that is what always made our work together so rewarding, because you got out of your comfort zone and really trusted yourself. Like, you were ready for this. And even if
Right.
you weren't as ready as you needed to be, or maybe wanted to be in the beginning, you knew
Mhm.
for whatever reason, like your intuition and your instinct was guiding you, your body was guiding you. And I believe that our work together, you really allowed yourself to drop into your body. You really allowed yourself to get out of your head and allow your body to
Yeah.
breathe. You truly embodied the difference
Absolutely.
being out of your comfort zone and being out of alignment. There's,
Yes.
there's a huge difference. Yes, you were out of your comfort zone and you realized each time you were driving out, well, I'm not going to die from this.
Right.
Or this might be uncomfortable, or I might not even have anything to talk to her about. I don't know. But
Right.
you learn the difference of that and being out of alignment. It got to the point in your life, and you can tell us more about that, where truly being out of alignment with your energy, with who you are, with you
Right.
were stepping into each and every day, what that felt like. So,
Well, it was very comforting that you would, read my lines and tell me, my human design.
okay, all right.
And you
Wait,
explained, go ahead.
no, for anybody that is listening that knows nothing about human design, what Kim is talking about is your profile, which is really the role in life that we came here to play. And she specifically is a 3/5. So go on from there, Kim.
Right. And you talk human design, and I know that you studied it and that you really, you know, did everything that you could to learn everything about it. And you would explain it to me. I didn't grasp it all. I'm not expected to. But what you told me was, I would react a certain way to things. And you would say, well, yeah, that's who you are. That's how you're designed to react.
Mhm.
And so then I got thinking, okay, so this isn't just me being a bitch or, me just being over dramatic or me being too sensitive. This is me, how I'm designed, trying to figure out the situation. And that was a huge help in saying, okay, I can't fix how I'm designed. I can only fix how I react. And it was so invaluable what you were teaching me. And I would drive home thinking, yeah, I reacted that way. And here it's because I was just doing what I was built to do. Um, so I found it very fascinating. And I found it fascinating because it gave me like a little platform to like jump off of, to go to the next level and to be interested and dig in more. And you kind of like stripped it down to where I was like, okay, I now need to take the next step. And what am I going to do? I can either continue not understanding who I am, or I can actually start listening to myself and my body,
Yeah.
um, and just react from what my body is saying to do. And I'm telling you, it might sound crazy to people, but that's the only reason I am here
Well,
in a different place.
yes, absolutely. And I believe one of the biggest gifts you got from this, and we spoke about it many a times, is that you really started to understand responding to life versus reacting to life.
Yes.
And that's a huge thing for all of us. And most of us are designed to respond to life, but that is not how we're conditioned to be in life. We're
Right.
conditioned to go into reaction, to overthink things, to allow our
Yes.
head to lead us rather than our body. And that was, for me, that was such a gift to work with you and see you change before my very eyes. See
Yeah.
you take some really, really hard things in life that you were dealing with, especially
Hmm.
at the end, and really not be triggered by them, not react to them
Right.
to a way where you were no longer a victim of sacrificing yourself for other people
Exactly.
and not a victim of the shoulds in your life, because most of us are conditioned to do what we should do, not what our body and not what we are feeling in our body, not what we're responding to.
Exactly. And you said it. I did everything. I'm 51 years old. I did everything I should do.
Right.
I graduated. I got a job. I went to work every day. Um, I try not to complain. I always was the better person, allowed people to take advantage, step
Right.
on me. I allowed it all. And I would continue with a smile, just to keep it going and keep it going. And,
Do you know
I
why you did that?
do I what?
You know why you did that?
Because I wasn't listening at all to myself. I was listening to, um, what my mom might have passed down to me, and listening to the influence of others, and totally ignoring anything that I was feeling. Just obviously, I should not be feeling this way. I should not be complaining about this. I will just go and put my head up and smile and keep moving. And I did that for years. And I did it for years. And I got to tell you, if I never met you, I would probably still be driving into my job, being underappreciated, um, being laughed at, being, talked about, being taken advantage of. And I would still go every day with the hopes of it will get better. I just have to try harder in pleasing everybody but me.
And that is,
And
go ahead, I'm sorry.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No. But
Did
what
I?
I was going to say was that is another aspect of human design that I love, in that it really shows us, once we can look at our body graph and we can see how our energy works and where we take in other people's energy and amplify it, and how where energy is inconsistent for us and where it is consistent. It makes such a difference when we realize, because most of us are out there trying to prove ourselves, trying
Mm-hmm.
to do what we expect other people want of us. But when we
Right.
understand that we have nothing to prove, that gives you the freedom, that frees you, and you get to have a relationship with yourself. And for
Yeah.
people like yourself and myself who are generator types, that the most important relationship for us is our relationship with our sacral, which that is that response energy. And
Yes.
again, you took that experiment and you really walked it out into the world. You walked yourself out into the world with everything that you were learning and experiencing and experimenting with to see what
Right.
really was right for Kim and who Kim really is.
Right. And it was, I mean, if it wasn't for you, like I said, I'd be stuck in the same, you know, portion of my life, just doing it over and over and over again every day. But then, you always are thinking, I'm always thinking of like my house, of, this is my house forever. I could never sell it, I'm just going to live here forever.
Right.
And I'm sure so many people think that, like, okay, so this is, my house, and I'll just have to keep working to fix it up. And, this is where I'll die. And, you know, that's
This is
great,
where
you know, and I'm telling you, I was just, the more and more I'm listening to myself, I'm thinking, this is so not what I want. This is so not where I need to be. And um, it was really wonderful um, at my job when my boss, who I had devoted myself to, thought it was a grand idea to just berate me
Mm.
and say how all the mistakes I'm making, and just went down this list that that he practiced, probably before going to bed, to get the little courage to say it. And I think the rant went on for like 10 minutes, and I didn't hear any of it because it clicked. Everything clicked. My whole body was, instead of flaring up and anger and wanting to react, I was so at peace because this was the moment I was waiting for. I knew it was going to happen and I was going to be ready for it. And as he's berating me, I am so happy knowing that I'm about to make the biggest decision of my life, or I've already made the biggest decision. I just now need to place the call.
Right.
And I think I left work that day. It was a Thursday, and I called a realtor Thursday night. My house was listed and photographed by Monday. Um, I knew without a doubt what I needed to do. And it was to stop pretending that this is the life I want. It didn't
Wow.
matter.
That's
Yeah.
really powerful. That's a powerful statement. Not stop pretending. And
Yes.
how many of us do that is to pretend in life,
Every day.
like, yeah, this is normal. This is right. This is what I should be doing. Like,
Yep.
I want to ask you now, how does it feel to be truly honoring your word with yourself that you were saying silently to yourself and really
Um,
then vocalize it and come from this place of personal power? Wow.
um, I gotta tell you, I have zero doubt, regret anything of where I am at this very moment. Um, could I have done it years earlier? Yeah, but as like you explained, I wasn't ready. My body was not ready. I didn't learn it. I didn't know it. Um, and you have to learn it. You have to respect the sacral. You have to respect
Mhm.
what you're feeling to move forward. And I got to tell you, to wake up every day here, um, this is craziness. This is pure peace. It's all I wanted in life. It's not about how much money I was making.
Mhm.
I mean, because I left it all. I literally left it all. I gave
You
a
were an
2 week.
integral part of that business. Like you were the second.
Yeah. Oh,
Decade.
absolutely.
How long were you
Absolutely.
there?
I was at that place for 4 years, I think over 4 years. But you know what? I did some really great things there.
Mhm.
And, the accountant himself is like, wow, you've increased profits by like 300%, like just from things that I did. And, um, you know, my boss decided to bring in somebody, and it was a guy, and he just looked through me and didn't acknowledge me. And because it's, not a woman's world.
And that's what
And
I was just going to say. For
I
people,
just, you just look at him like, holy shit, like there really are people like you, and you're sitting like 2 feet from me. And I want nothing to do with you. I want nothing to do with this bad vibes going on. I just want nothing to do with it. Every day I drove in, it was just taking something from me. And it really took you, it took me figuring it out, getting the courage and learning about myself. And it took that rant just to say, I'm done. And it was a 41-day
yes,
change. I listed my house and I walked into my new apartment within 41 days.
that's incredible. And
And go
what's more,
ahead.
what's more incredible, just to give our listeners a little bit more background, you worked in a male-dominated environment,
Yep.
right? It was all
Yep.
men. It was a body repair,
Yeah.
car repair
Mm-hmm.
place.
Yep.
And you're a leader. Like your energy is that's who you are. You know,
Yeah.
you have those leadership capabilities and you had that respect for years.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
as we start to do our own work, our energy, our energy is always felt first. So as we're changing, people
Mm-hmm.
feel it. People can feel it.
Yeah.
Obviously, in that environment, they didn't know what to do with it.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? I'm thankful for it because um I know what their end game looks like. I know, that they're going to be miserable and, not really have anything of value to show. Like, um, because I have peace and it's something that they don't have and they won't ever have it because they're just so not in tuned. They're just in it for the money. They don't care about, customers. They don't care about anything except for the bottom line. And that only gets you so far.
Absolutely.
Um, so now here I am, right? I make this big move, massive life change, sold my house, sold everything, moved down to St. Pete, Florida. Um, and now my next challenge is, and I was talking to you about this, is I have this giant blank whiteboard in front of me. And now I have to decide how to continue with my journey. And it's so beyond exciting
Yes.
because I know that my human design is going to still continue to play. I know that I need to listen to myself. I know that I need to continue to put in the work, that I'm going forward always positively and in tune with what my body is saying.
Absolutely. So,
I go ahead.
no, so let me ask you, just so our listeners again may understand, how do you show up differently now than you did before in your life?
How do I show up differently? I am at such a peace and I have no self-doubt.
That's huge.
And that's beyond huge. because I could have continued where I was and ignored everything. I could eventually have found myself here, but it'd
Sure.
probably be 10, 15 years from now, in a different mindset and a different, everything different. Um, but by making this big life choice and being here, I know that I'm going to listen to myself. Like I thought my dream job moving down here, because I said I didn't want a full-time desk. I said I wanted to work at the Publix grocery store, slicing deli
Yeah.
meat. It's all I wanted to do, right? It's a dream job. And I can't believe it. It's like I manifested it and I got that job. And I did that for a short while before I realized the intense amount of manual labor that is on your feet 8 hours, closing a deli at 11 o'clock at night. It was really beyond everything that I could handle. And what was really great was there was just one night where I had just had it. I couldn't deal with any more heavy chicken fat trays coming out of a hot oven. Um, and I stood up and I'm wearing my little Publix apron and my name tag. And I thought, I don't, oh, I so don't even need to be doing this.
No, you don't.
And what am I doing? So I just walked on over to the manager and I said, this is my name. I'm Kim. And I'm not going to come back. I said, yeah, I don't do chicken fat and I don't need to. And I walked out. I would never have done that. Never have done that. But I know where I don't want to be.
That's important. That's
And I
important.
and I know what I'm not going to tolerate. And I'm a very hard worker. I'm willing to work, but there's limits. And now I know my limits. I know my boundaries. Um, and it's great just to be able to say, all right, I'm out of here. You guys have a good night. All right. I left the chicken fat trays over there. All right, see you. And I drive home with no, usually it'd be a, oh my God, I left early. Zero. This is the new me. Zero. I'm not going to tolerate anything less than what is best for me.
Right. What brings you joy? That's what
Exactly.
that's what you're here for. That's what we're all here for. And
Yes.
your work has to be the underneath it all. It's got to be joyful for you.
Yes.
It has to be because
Because
that's
that's how I'm showing up. I'm showing up very different than I ever would in my life. Because you know what? It is just me here. My daughter's here, but I leave her alone because she's young and having a good life. I'm just here to cook dinner whenever she needs it. But this is just me. And I'm going to make this part of my life no more regrets, no holding back. Um, I want to wake up every day and enjoy what it is that I'm doing. Um, money's always there. You always have to make it. You always have to lose it. But that's not my main thought process anymore. It's about peace. And this is what I need to do on a daily basis. I need to work towards that.
and it's really about your purpose is to manifest your dreams into reality and
Hmm.
show other people that it's possible. That energy is huge within your human design. It's the gate 41, it's the gate of fantasy. And you can see, well, maybe I'm sure you can, but I can actually see from looking from the outside in that over those 2 years that we had worked so closely together,
Hmm.
you were fantasizing about what you wanted in life, what you wanted your life to look like. It was a matter
Right.
of giving yourself the permission to say, yes, it gets to be this easy. It gets to flow the way that I desire it to flow. And that's
Absolutely.
the hardest thing for a lot of us to do. We want to will our way through life rather than just lean into the flow of the life that's laid out before us. Because as generator types with this sacral response, we don't need to know the how. None of us need to know the how. We just need
Hmm.
we just need to respond to the next right step, the next right thing.
Right,
And that's where your fantasies become this playground of creativity for you, and this vision. You're showing others this bigger, brighter future that you're creating for yourself and for everybody around you and everybody that you touch. So it's going
right.
to be, I'm really looking forward to working with you through this
Oh,
phase of your life,
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
coming together and watching you create this next becoming of Kim.
Yeah, but I mean, everything was so important that you did. I mean, I'll never forget the first Reiki session that we did. And I told you that it felt like the blanket was falling off of me at my feet.
Right,
And
right.
it felt like that I Love Lucy with the chocolates falling off the conveyor belt. That's what I thought was happening at my feet. And I
Wow.
remember thinking, I gotta get the blanket because the blanket's falling off. But the blanket wasn't falling off. What
Mhm.
you were doing, just Reiki alone and just getting me aligned, clearing out the chakras, you know, and letting me start fresh was the tipping point. That was the okay, I'm reset. It's like, factory. I reset myself and now I can keep moving forward. And it's because of that. Um, just simply invaluable. It really was. It's honest to God, life changing because I'm sitting here. Um, I tell everyone that it's like, oh, where are you from? And I'm like, I give them the 41-day story,
Right.
and they're all
Right.
like, really? How did you do that? And I said, Alice, Mary, saying I need a Reiki.
You sur- you surrendered to your life. You surrendered
Yeah,
to your life.
I said enough. And I was so thankful that my gut was like, no, you're on your right track.
Yep.
Take the step. And I did, and I haven't faltered since. And every time Madison, my daughter, anyone is telling me a story, they're questioning something. I'm like, what's your gut say? And my daughter would be like, oh, to get away. And I'm like, then that's the answer. Stop trying to convince yourself
Right.
of anything else because that's what I've done for years. I was ignoring what I knew I needed to do because I'm just trying to convince myself that no, this is what I should be doing. And no,
Wow.
it
Wow.
shouldn't have been. I should never have stayed as long as I stayed. Thankful that I listened to myself and just go. Um, Thankful for really you, Mary, everyone, because this is life. For me, this is my life.
Yep.
You only get one. And I'd said it to my sister, when I told her I'm leaving. I just quit my job, the house up for sale. She's like, really? And I said, I only get one life,
Yes.
and I'll be damned if I show up every day for people that don't appreciate it. I'm going to start showing up for me, and we're just going to see what happens. And I got to tell you,
And this is what happened. And it's
sleeping great, loving life. Can't wait to get up every day to see what I'm going to do. Loving it, loving everything that I'm doing. And I'm very excited about the next phase.
absolutely positively. And your life unfolded the exact way it was supposed to. The timing was perfect. And when we can all understand and accept that, that's when we have real freedom. So
Yeah,
I want to thank you for spending this half hour with me. And I can't wait to, continue this journey with you, Kim.
absolutely. I'm here. You just yell whenever you need something.
All right, Kim.
All right. I'll see you later, Miss Alice.
All right, Kim. Thank you.
All right.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please remember to like and share it. You can find me on social media, Alice Wilcox on Facebook, and on Instagram at Soulline Beauty. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye for now.